Alright, just making a little video update on the Earthship. Obviously a lot has changed since my last video. I had a crew come out and help me start the framing. I was able to get some footage, but it wasn't that much and it was hard to edit it all together. So I thought I would just do a little walkthrough of everything we did. And then I'll put a time lapse at the end of the footage that I got. So on my last video, I think I ended up I was anchoring in all of the Trex onto the bond beam. After that was when the crew showed up and we started off and we just went on top of the Trex and we plated it with 2x6 all the way around. Once we finished that, we went ahead and placed the steel beams. You can see there's a 6x6 steel beam along the back there. I welded on some tabs and we anchored it in. There's also tabs on the back side I can show you later. And then we went in with this center beam. So you can see the center beam here. This is a 6x18 steel beam. I'd welded tabs on it, and then we went and put the Trex on top of that, another layer of 2x6, and then it was ready to accept the roof. Coming over to this part of the building, those are the 2 footers I had poured with the tires underneath. And then we used wood 8x8s, and you can see we had metal brackets and then 3 horizontal beams going across the top. Those are resting right onto the bond beam and the double plate. So from the back steel beam to the middle one, we were able to project that angle up, and then we framed just a little wall on top of the 8x8 beams up there. And then we ran our joists on top of that. So here's a view of the 6x6 steel beam. It's cantilevered off the back on both sides, and that's just resting on the back wall there. I did the same thing, welded on some straps and anchored that into the bond beam on both sides there. So once we put the 2 steel beams and then we framed this wall, we were able to put the TJIs up. And we just cantilevered them over. This wall wasn't there yet. And that's kind of how we found out where to put that wall. So yeah, before we framed this wall, these TJIs went all the way across here, and then they were just hanging over. Before we put this wall up, we realized we needed to get in with the machine and put in the underground plumbing as well as the planter. So we dug that hole, threw the dirt over to the other side. So you can see all the underground plumbing is in, all the drains and vents. This is the planter. I'll do a detailed video on all that later, but just kind of show where we're at. You can see this is for the bathroom, all the plumbing going in. Alright, so once we finished with the underground plumbing and planter, we ended up framing up this front wall. These TGIs weren't there, but all the ones in the middle were. Pretty much just attached top plate, had it hanging over the sides here, and then we put all the studs in afterwards. So this is the only window box that got started. There'll be 2 windows here. I was going to do a third, but we're going to end up just sheeting over that just for some shear strength. We'll have 5 big windows in the middle and then another 2 small windows with a little shear wall on the end there. So that's all we got with the crew here. We got that wall framed and all the middle TJIs up. Since the crew left, I was able to sheet this wall as well as part of the roof and the wall on the other side. I'll give you a view of that. Alright, so I'm up on the roof. You can see I was able to sheet kind of up to this point, and then I put these side TJIs on. I still need to come over and do this side. That'll probably be the next video. This whole back side is all sheeted. The walls on the sides are all sheeted as well. So I've got about 2 more weeks until I have to go back to work. So I'm going to keep working at it. The goal is to try and get the riser on the cistern, all the thermal wrap done, be able to bury all this, get the EPDM skirt on there. I'm also hoping to finish off the roof, get the rest of those TJIs up, sheet the rest of the roof, plumb cut the front there, get that all capped, as well as I've got some work to do here for sort of the thermal break, and before I pour the concrete floor. There'll be a concrete floor poured, and then we can frame the two wing wall entranceways